Yes, people, welcome to the Cosmic Revolution. I am coming with a brand new energy and I'm going to do more interviews with business people and with more women in business. And we are starting off these episodes with my good friend Alyx Steele, who is a dynamic choreographer and creative director with over a decade of experience shaping bold, high impact performances for global stages. Originally from Liverpool, Alyx built a career in London and is now based in Los Angeles, working internationally across music, television, and live events. She has collaborated with an impressive roster of artists, including Rihanna, Pink, Jessie J, Charlie XCX, David Guetta, Sugar Babes, Tiny Temper, and Coldplay, and has choreographed for major productions such as MTV European Music Awards, the Brit Awards, and her screen work includes Disney, Cruella, and Everybody's Talking About Jamie. Known for her ability to create choreography that is visually striking and emotionally resonant, she brings a distinctive creative vision to every product. In addition to her creative work, Alyx is a passionate mentor and educator, delivering empowering talks and workshops to young people across the country. She also leads online mentorship programs designed for the next generation of dancers, offering real world guidance on how to build sustainable and fulfilling careers in the entertainment industry. Today is going to be an amazing, amazing podcast. Okay, so I am so excited for this podcast episode. This is my first interview and I felt like it was really necessary to get more people, more women in business on my podcast. The reason why my podcast is called Cosmic Revolution is because I feel that as women, especially in business, that we are here to revolutionize the world, like getting money in and opportunities in the hands of good people is what we are here to do. And I've always said that we are here to change the trajectory of what's been laid out for us. We are the change makers, and we might not necessarily see the full change of us being the change makers. It's going to happen generations from now, but it's important that collectively we all come together in this time, and that's what this podcast episode, this podcast platform is for, is to start to create that safe space for people to land. And my first interview is with my good friend Alyx Steele. And we met about it has to be 6 years now that we connected. And I joined a network marketing company called Arbon. And this was a great place for us. Well, it's nearly 6 years because I joined this in lockdown. So that was the time
Yeah.
that I joined. And this was an amazing opportunity for Alyx was already in Arbon. I was joining in lockdown, but this was an amazing opportunity for us to grow spiritually and in our mindset and really start to build on the knowledge that we already had, but we put it into kind of connecting with other like-minded souls. And also we got up at 6 o'clock in the morning and we connected online and we started to build a foundation for what business was going to take off for us. We had no idea where life was going to take us, but we connected every morning online in that time, didn't we? And it grew from there, and we've stayed connected through that life experience. And when lockdown, lifted, we connected in real life. It wasn't just online, and we became good friends from there. And it was a great, really good opportunity for people to connect and start to run business differently. I find. What do you think about like?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. It's so funny. I'm so excited to like remember all that, because lockdown was such a mad time, wasn't it? And like you just said, me and Carrie, we did join, I think about 2 years before you. So we had it in real time first, then into lockdown, and then coming out of lockdown. But that time for me, and I spoke about this yesterday actually, was really transformational because I come from creative, I come from dance. All we know is dance. We create, we are very, it's no one teaches us about business and wealth creation and how to communicate, how to use your voice, marketing, sales, social media. No one teaches us that side of things when you're a dancer. And I think a lot of creatives are the same. So for me, I was looking for something. I knew there's more I want to create here. My dance career is amazing. I love it so much, but there's more. And so that time for me, finding network marketing, connecting, like you said, with other incredible, and I needed more women. I think that
Yeah.
was the thing for me at the time and still now. I needed more women around me, women who were like big thinkers, big doers, women who were running businesses, women who were like making good money for themselves. I was craving that.
Yeah.
And that's what it was for me. I learned so much during that time. And all the skills actually that I learned through Arbon and through network marketing, I now use to build what I do now.
Yeah.
Like every day when I'm building my business now, all these years later, I'm like, I learned this through Arbon. I mastered these skills through that business and that time. So I'm so grateful. And of course, I have wonderful friends like you that I took as well from that time. There's about five friends of ours that we met through that time and that I can't imagine our life without you guys now,
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
meant to be
Same.
on this journey together.
Same. Yeah, absolutely. Network marketing as such a negative. Some people love it. It's like Marmite, isn't it? Some people love
Yeah.
it. They really, really go for it. And then some people hate it or they've got a negative perspective on what network marketing is. From my point of view, it taught me entrepreneurial skills
Yeah.
that I didn't necessarily learn from being a hairdresser for 14 years.
No.
I learned the communication skills and how to sell and all of that from hairdressing. But there's so much more to being an entrepreneur than just them things. And I think that was the foundation layer for me that I'd never really thought of before. It taught me a lot about self-development, personal development first, about energy first. Like our energy is what we our output. Like if our energy is like in a negative field or we wake up negative, that's what the day is going to be like. It's like this morning, I woke up this morning and it was just like I was very tired. And funny enough, I've been sleeping with a mouth tape on, really, and it's changed how I sleep. I'm not as
That,
fidgety. So
that's
it's a mouth tape is like you literally
Oh,
tape,
mouth
yeah,
tape,
a
yeah.
mouth
So
tape.
you breathe through your
So I
nose.
breathe through my
Yeah.
nose. And actually what I've been doing is waking up and my cells feel alive when I've been doing it. And last night I thought, I'm gonna see how I feel tomorrow not wearing it. And I woke up this morning and I felt hungover. It was like my whole energy was depleted. I felt really hungover and I noticed that I was tossing and turning a lot more not wearing my mouth tape, which is just it's so weird. So weird, just that slight thing. And when I woke up this morning, I spilled the milk all down my front. Like there was so many different things going on. And through the work that I know, like the personal development, my breath work, just having that morning point of context where I just take that time just for me. It's like I just rewired that. I was like, no, I'm not getting into this day. I'd burnt the toast. I'd done all of these different things. And I was like, no, that's not what I'm going to get into. But that was all from I'd
Yeah.
learned all that years ago from being in that network marketing company where we'd wake up and we would talk about mindset stuff and personal development and how to just get the day and not get into our negative thought forms. These are all simple things that I learned from that.
Yeah. And you know what's funny as well? So, and I mean, you were talking about recently, I just went for a huge job um, to be assistant to a creative director. And as part of the interview process, I was interviewed, first of all, by the creative director. And then as I got further along in the process, she asked me to jump on a call with the team, two choreographers. And it's funny. So on that call, the two choreographers were asking me more about myself. It wasn't like my experience with I'd got past that part. It was you tell me about you. How are you in these situations? The more of a character type. And I know one of the people interviewing me, a big choreographer, she has experience in network marketing. She built a really successful network marketing business. And so she's quite similar to me. She has that experience. And so me and her, it allowed us to really, we had something in common.
Yeah.
She totally understood where I was coming from. We were talking about personal development, professional development, energy, all of that. And so I thought, isn't it funny how that has come all the way back around? Here's me going for the dream job in my creative industry. And on the final interview, I'm talking about my network marketing business and the skills that I learned there and how they're enabling me now to be better leader, a better assistant in this space or whatever that looks like. So it's all so valuable.
Yeah. And it does, like you said, it does that 360, doesn't it? Like it comes back around, all of them skills come back around. Like even the fact of me doing Zooms and delivering workshops and doing a podcast and like
Yeah.
that was never in my wildest dreams like 6 years ago. Even just doing where you deliver what the network marketing opportunity is,
Yeah.
that first Zoom call, I was absolutely
Presentation.
sweating. Like I just was, and I came off and cried because I was like, that was so bad. And all of my family were on there, and all of the people that I know were on there. That's just so bad. But it wasn't like it was all like experience to the point now where I can deliver this and not. I get nervous, but I don't sweat. Like
Yeah.
nerves are good because it's like, oh yeah, this is outside my comfort zone.
It's growth. It's all
Yeah.
growth moments for us, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
What I've learned now is just say yes. Just say yes and figure it out. It's become like a motto in my life. Like if something feels big and it's scary, do you know what? It's been put in front of me for a reason. Just say yes and then figure it out from there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because when you say yes, it's like it's saying yes to opportunities, isn't it? A lot of the time we say no to things that should be a yes, and we say yes to things that should be a no because
Yes.
we say yes to the things that should be a no because they feel familiar, but we say
Yeah.
no to the things that should be yes because they feel scary. And that's
Scary.
how you determine it, isn't it? Whether you say yes or no.
It's learning to, I guess that's a real self-awareness, isn't it? Checking in with how does this feel? Does this feel right? Or like you said, familiar, or is it easy, or is it a challenge? Like checking in with yourself, knowing is this something I'm terrified, but I know I should say yes to? Or is this something that is not going to be serving me moving forward? Is this the same thing that I'm doing all the time? I don't actually even want to do it. I actually just cancelled my weekly dance classes in LA because sitting with it, I'm like, this isn't going to move me forward.
Yeah.
It's something I could continue doing. It's fine. I like it, whatever. But it's what I've been doing for a long time. And here in LA, it's not aligned with how I want to be spending my time. It's kind of taken from me energy wise.
Yeah.
I feel that it's not right. And so I was like, "Do you know what? I'm just gonna say I need to cancel my class. It's just not right for me right now. So I can spend this time on what I want to be doing, moving myself forward."
Yeah.
It's a good example.
Because as well, that old paradigm where you were doing the weekly dance classes
Mm.
would have felt familiar. You're good at it. You know how it
Yeah,
runs. You know how to build a weekly dance class because
yeah,
you've done it. You've accomplished that. And I've
yeah,
just done a reel on this where it's like, what are you saying? What are you deciding your reality gets to be? And if it's like you're focused on the old version of you that was doing the dance classes that got you from A to B, which has been
yeah,
amazing, been your experience. But if that new version of you is like, no, like I need my energy for something bigger, why would I be over here doing something that was like the old version of me that's taught me what I
Yeah,
need to know? But so many of us get so stuck in this is what we need to do because we've done it before. This must be our soul's purpose. And it's so good that you've had that, you've felt into that and been like, this doesn't serve me no more because this is where I'm going.
yeah. And do you know how do you know how I know? And everything now is all gut. It's all I feel it. So while I'm here in LA, I'm working on really building as a creative director. It's a, it's a huge role. And like you said, I'm kind of teaching dance on the side, and I've got these sort of multiple things that I'm doing. When people say to me, "Oh, how's your creative director stuff going?" I light up. I'm like, oh, I've got this going on. I've got that. I've been learning this. This is what I want to be doing. And then when people say to me, "Oh, how's your dance class going?" I'm like, oh. I'm like, don't ask me that. I don't want people to think of me as a dance teacher here. I
Yeah.
want people to think of me as a creative director. And so I could feel it when people were saying to me, "Oh, how's that going?" They've got lovely intentions, just checking in. And I'm like, oh no. So my gut is telling me
That
to
is,
go
yeah,
with
it's
it.
amazing. It's amazing that you're so self-aware
Yeah.
of that feeling. Like just because people are literally our mirrors. They're here to guide us and show us the reality that we're feeling from
Yeah.
within. So when people are saying these things to you with great intentions, but your whole body's going, oh, like, oh
Ugh.
no, not that again. It's like an indicator. It's just an indicator. Oh, okay. I understand that that's not lighting me up no more. Okay, but what does light me up? Because it's, and then you've got to change your
Follow that.
direction, follow that path, isn't it? So if we go back to the beginning of your journey being a creative, where did this all start? Did you always know that you wanted to be a dancer, a creator, or was it something that just kind of took a direction?
Yeah, I think when I think back, I think it's so obvious when you're a child. Obviously, this is in hindsight, isn't it?
Yeah.
But when you're a child, the things I loved were I always danced around the house. I didn't go to dance class till I was about 15, actually. But I always loved to move to that. I was an energetic child. I loved Michael Jackson. I always had music on. Sport was my thing. And so I knew I needed physically to move. That was something more so than anything. I knew I needed to physically, I was always out the house on my bike, all of that, rather than sitting. I wasn't someone who, when kids like sit and draw, I
Yeah.
didn't I didn't do anything like small, make little bracelets. I never played house. I never did any small things in that inside the house, which is funny to think of now.
Yeah.
I was like out the house, big, energetic. And so that was something I always knew about myself as a kid. I struggled to just sit in class
Yeah.
and just be still. And I didn't really know that dance could be a career. I didn't know that was something that I could follow. When I started going to dance class at 15, I only went because my friend went and she was like, "Oh, come with me, you'll love it." And I was like, "Oh, okay." Wasn't really that interested. And I did love it. I fell in love with it. And so when it come time to, at 16, when it's like you're going to leave school, there was nothing else that I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do an A level in anything. There was nothing that I was interested in, academia, all of that. And I was a bit like, oh God, what am I going to do? And I was signed up to go into the army. A lot of people don't know this, but I signed up to go into the army. And do you know why? Just because when they came into our school, they said, you leave home at 16, you start earning money straight away, you go, you live in the barracks. It was a physical thing. You train every day out. And I thought, "Do you know what, these tick all my boxes right now. I wanted to leave home as soon as I could. I was ready to get out there. And so it just felt like a safe option, and I get to be physical, you know. And on my very last interview with the army guy, he said, "Have you got any hobbies?" And I said, "Well, I dance on a Saturday." That was all it was. And it wasn't a big deal. And, it was just like a bit of a dance class that I did. And I did absolutely love it. It was my space that I felt free, amazing. Like I felt amazing in that space. I just didn't know it was something that I could follow when it come to choosing a career. And he said, well, if if you come into the army, there'll be no more dancing. There's no space for dance in the army, like having a bit of a joke about it. And it was such a moment. I remember it. I was like, oh my God, if I choose this path, I won't, it'll be the end of dance for me. And it was like everything just flashed in front of me. And I was like, this isn't right. And super last minute, I ended up going to the community college with the same friends that took me to dance class a couple of years before. And I started the BTEC in dance. And I dropped off, I wasn't ready to be, I was like a little free spirit. I needed to be let out my cage. I wasn't ready to go to college and be disciplined and follow you arrive at 8 a.m., you're there till 5. Like, I wasn't ready for that yet. So I said, we're just kids at 16.
Yeah.
I still needed to just run around a bit and just do my own thing. And that's what I did. And I ended up doing this TV show that was for dancers. It was a reality TV show. They were looking for dancers, and it was perfect for me because they wanted personality, they wanted energy, because it was television. And I had that. I had personality, I had energy. I would dance, I'll give you whatever you say, I'll do. And it was a space for me to just be myself. And off the back of that, I was only 17. Off the back of that, I met professionals. I was in London. I didn't win the show, but I got right down to the semi-finals. And it was the first time that I met people that this is their job.
Yeah.
These people, they work with in television with artists, music videos, and I saw it for the first time. And there was one of the women that was a judge on the program, Aisha. And I'm going to tell you a story about this as well because it's come back around to now. She took me aside and she said to me, listen, I really think you could do this. I think you could have a career. I believe in you. I think you have got so much potential. And at that time, I just needed to hear those words. I needed maybe a woman. I needed someone who was experienced, an older woman, to say to me, I believe in you. This is the path. I see something in you. And from there on, I just did everything she said. She was willing to sign me to the agency, move to London. You're going to need to get a portfolio. You're going to need to follow these steps. And I just did everything she said. And let me just tell you how this has come back around 360 because this is amazing. This big job that I went for recently, the creative director is a lady called Fatima Robinson, and the job was to be her assistant. And during the interview, she said to me, you tell me about your journey, take it right back from being, where did you start? And I mentioned the story that I just told you. I mentioned Aisha. And I said to her, maybe you know Aisha Mackenzie. And she said, oh yeah, I know Aisha. And that was it. And then we moved on and, it was forgotten about. A couple of days later, I got a message from Aisha on Instagram. And I was 17 when I met Aisha. I'm about to turn 40. So this is a long time ago.
Wow.
She said, I heard you submitted for Fatima. And I was like, oh my God, news really traveled fast. I'm in LA, she's in London. Fatima has obviously reached out to her and said, oh, I don't know what was said, but it gave Aisha the opportunity to give a bit of a character reference. I know Alyx, she's great. She actually told me what she said. She said to her, that you were a good soul and you deserve the opportunity. That's what she said to Fatima. And so I just couldn't believe all these years later how that's come around. And this woman from my childhood essentially is given a character reference for me on this job now. I've been a dancer, I've been a choreographer, right up to stepping into my creative director era. So I just know that kid who took those risks and I just went to London, I just did it.
Mm.
I know it was all meant to be. I almost think it was the path was laid out.
Yeah.
All I needed to do was just say yes and
Say yes.
follow my what made me feel good. That's all it was. It made me feel good. It felt right.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
It's incredible how that's done a 360, and this is why it's important that so Keem said the other day that he had a message. So Keem's my partner, for anybody that doesn't know, that he had a message off some guy just saying, you look like you're doing incredible things right now. And
Oh,
then Keem was like, thank you so much. I don't get them messages very often. And then he said, I still remember when you prayed for me in my lowest time. And it was like, Keane went, I didn't remember that. And I said, but we don't remember some of these things, but we leave
Yeah,
an imprint on people's lives when we show up and we just do what we need to do in them times. So you followed guidance, you followed a step by step, and you showed up for yourself. And that's left a lasting imprint that when she hears your voice, hears your name, she goes, she's amazing. She's an incredible soul. And we never
yeah,
know the imprints that we're leaving on people's lives. And that's why it's always important to just keep showing up and keep being authentically us, because no one can take our soul's essence from us. You know,
absolutely. And there's been so many times. That year, what's that been? That's been about 22 years
wow.
since I did that television show. There's been so many times that I have forgotten that how powerful I am. I have forgotten. I have fallen off and thought, oh, let me just do what they're doing, or let me just follow that path. And it's
Yeah.
like, no, that's not my path. And I've always come back. I remember someone said to me, a choreographer, when I was wanting to step from dancing to choreography, I started assisting people and shadowing and trying to get in the room and learn from them. And I assisted an amazing choreographer called Rachel Kay. And she gave me this piece of advice once, and I never forget it. She just said, stay in your lane. You've got to stay in your lane. And at the time, I didn't understand really the impact of that and what she meant, but I totally get it now. Like, we can be pulled left to right all the time. Oh, everyone's doing that. I should do that. Or, and actually, no, my path is here, and it might look different to everyone else's path, and it might not be what I imagined exactly it was going to be, but we've got to just trust that this is our path. That's the most challenging thing. I think sometimes just staying in our lane. No, I know this is right for me. I just have to trust the timing of it, you know?
I think as well, seeing so many business people be successful in business and creative, and you see all of these people and they've got to success, and you think, I need to do it their way. And there's so many
Yes.
business strategies out there, and there's so many strategies like you need to do this and you need to do that and you need to do this. And it's like, that's great. But when you implement it in your business or I implement it in my business, well, that strategy is not made for me. That's not my strategy. So it might work for some people, but it doesn't necessarily work for us. It's like, because that's not what we're made for. Like, strategy is like 5% of our business. It's our energy that we show up with. And if we're undecided, or we're like, oh, we need to do it like this person over here, well, that's not our energy. It's not what our soul's directing us to do. And it's like, that's what it means, stay in our lane. And I didn't grasp that for a very long time, like what it meant to stay in your lane or not do it like everybody else. It's like I try and fit this mold of what everybody else is doing. I even wrote a bio this morning that was saying, I didn't fit in from a young age. I was the black sheep of the family, and I went to school and I was different, and I was a daydreamer, and all of like my things that I got home was like she doesn't concentrate, and she can't sit still, and all of these different things. And it's like, well, yeah, because I wasn't made to just sit and do and just follow the rules. I was always the rule breaker from a very young age. There would be obligations and rules that would either given to me from parents or teachers or whatever, and it'd always be like, she can't do as they're told.
Yeah. And so it's so important that you have to, especially even more so for you, you have to follow your thing. Imagine you didn't,
I know.
how what that would look like. That's where I think so much depression comes in, and mental health problems, because people are trying to fit into a system that's not made for them. Oh my God, I just can't imagine. Sometimes I see people and the work that they're doing or the situations they're in, and I'm like, I just feel so sorry for them, because there's so much out there that they could be doing, but they don't know. They've not realized their own power, or they
Yeah,
don't need to be doing X, Y, and Z. They could be doing this instead, but they feel so stuck.
yeah,
They don't know
absolutely.
that they're powerful inside. They don't know that they could follow. Like I didn't know that dance could be a career. Thank God I found it.
Yeah,
There's so many people that don't know that they could do that.
yeah,
That dream that
absolutely.
they have, or that little thing that they think about sometimes. You can do that, you can follow that, but they've never been told, they've never been given an example
Yeah.
or shown. that
Yeah,
you're powerful
absolutely.
and you can follow that if you wanted to.
Yeah. I
No.
think so when I left school, it was like, get a trade. My dad said, get a trade. Because it
Yeah.
was always this thing that you could always make money when you've got a trade. So I got a
Yeah.
trade. I didn't
It
stay
makes
on.
sense.
It makes sense.
It's
It does.
especially makes sense when you're like a working class
Yeah,
kid. You know,
absolutely.
our
Absolutely. And
parents
it,
just trying to do the best for us, and it does make sense.
yeah, absolutely. And I got so, no, I got so shrunk down that I just didn't know what life had in store. I just knew that one thing which felt familiar. It was hairdressing. I was
Yeah.
good at it. That was it. But for so long, I struggled with addictions because I didn't know who I was, didn't know what I was here to do. It was just like I fitted in a mold that other people expected of me, which was the
Yeah.
right choice for me then. But my soul knew different, and that's why I was always seeking like some kind of escape. Like, get me
Yeah.
out of here. This just feels
Yeah.
like it's strangling me all of the time, you know? And it was just like I got consumed in addictions and running away and just trying to escape what reality was serving me, you know? And I feel like what you were saying is a lot of people struggle with addictions, you know, depression, anxiety. But when they look at their life experiences, are they living what their soul wants them to do, or what their environment's perspective has molded them to be?
Yeah. Absolutely. I just wish for everyone that they could find their thing, find their purpose, find their passion, and live it out.
Yeah,
I just really wish everyone could find it because I know how magic it feels.
yeah,
You
absolutely.
know?
Absolutely. Life feels fulfilled when you start following your life's purpose. It's like it, and it's not easy either. It's not like the easiest option. It's not comfortable. It's like it's so uncomfortable, and that's why most people don't follow it because it gets
Yes.
like really it it stretches you. It stretches like whoever thought that entrepreneurship was like the easiest thing. It's
Oh
like
God. I
it's
know.
like mind fuckery, or like it's so
Yeah.
much mind stuff. It's like, am I doing the right thing? Am I not? Am I going the right way? Am I doing this right? Am I doing that right? And it's like, it's so much stretching.
Yeah.
It's uncomfortable. And it's not the easiest option. It's just not. And again, it's why most people don't pick that road.
Yeah, but you almost start to feel comfortable in the chaos, and so
Yeah.
many people won't understand that. So many people they need structure, they need the 9 to 5, they need to know when the money's coming, like, and I really understand that. But that mundane for me would drive me insane. It's so boring. I can't bear it. I need to be stretched
Yeah.
so much of the time. And and the chaos and the madness. And even being like I said, this job I went for recently was such a a stretch. I started thinking like, oh my God, like if I get this job, I'm terrified because I'm like, what have I done? Like I've stretched myself so much that now, like I want the job, I do. But if I get it, I'm terrified because I don't know what it's going to look like. So it's such a whirlwind. But at the same time, we're never going to get to these big jobs, big roles, big careers without that chaos and that feeling. Like if I got the job, I would raise my bar, I would raise my excellence, and I would make sure I delivered on it, even if it would be insane and crazy and stressful and mad and no sleep and all the rest of it. I would deliver it because I know now how to thrive within the
Mm.
chaos,
Yeah.
you know? So it's almost a skill that we've built, how to thrive within chaos.
How to thrive within chaos.
Yeah.
That needs to be a course. That needs an
Yeah,
actual course.
I know.
It's But can you see where you've stretched yourself with this job opportunity, you've gone for it, you've wanted it, it's like it's there, it's reality, like you've done all the visualizing, you've changed your words around it, you've changed your stories around it. But that place in the back of your mind that was like, if I get this, what will life look like? And that fear that's like you're trying to numb it down with positive affirmations and new stories and all of the different things that your central nervous system was like, no, like what is
Yeah.
life going to look like afterwards? And it's like because this has happened to me so many times where I've wanted financial opportunities and I wanted all of these different things to come in, and I've gone for projects and I've gone for different opportunities, and then none of them have come to fruition. And I was like, and I had to go back to what was my story that I kept telling myself. If I got this job, I would be too busy for the kids. If I
Yeah,
got this opportunity, then I'd have to pay more tax. If I got this opportunity, then I would have more structure. And what does that look like when it comes to me not starting work till 10 o'clock in the morning? Like, I
yeah,
don't start my day till 10, but if I got these job opportunities, I'd have to start
yeah,
at 9. And what does that look like with kids? It looks like stress, it looks like chaos. So my central nervous system and my belief system went, oh, no, I don't
yeah.
want that, even though I was telling the story to say that I did want it, and I made space for it. That actually sometimes we have to think of the aftermath as well. Like, what does it look like when we've got the job? Okay, what about that job opportunity did I not want?
You're so right. And I felt all of that because this is for anyone listening. This is a recent big job opportunity that I went for that got right down to the last two candidates, but I didn't get the job. So I felt all of this recently. Because I knew when I got the job, it was going to be like possibly like well, I think all the hours,
Yeah,
late nights, early mornings, all in. Being someone's assistant, she might need me in the middle of the night. I don't know what that's going to look like. And so I was like, oh God, what is this gonna, my nervous system was like, oh, is this what I want? Like, and the initial job was only 3 months.
yeah,
So I did have an end and then, I could look, but you are right. I think maybe it wasn't right for now.
yeah,
Maybe it might be right in the future, but right now where I'm at in my learning, in my everything, in my life, in my where I'm living, like everything in my day to day, in my relationship. I'm going to be back and forth to England a little bit. Perhaps it didn't fit right now. Maybe it's going to be something that comes back around, or maybe it's going to come back. The opportunity will come around looking different in a different way. And that's what I mean about just trusting. We've got to just trust it. It'll figure itself out. And I do. I actually think it's taken me such a long time to really honestly trust the universe, the process, timing. I really genuinely do trust it now. Whereas before I knew I needed to trust it, but I don't trust it.
yeah. It's still that element of control. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Like, I haven't got it, or what? Like, why is this not come right now when I'm asking for it? Like an Amazon delivery driver, like next day delivery. Like, it doesn't happen like that, does it?
Yeah. Yeah, you're so right. And so this new opportunity's come around for me off the back of going for this job. And it looks much more manageable. It feels good. It feels more playful. It feels less stressful. It feels right. And so when I was offered this job, I was like, this is what it's supposed to be for now. Now I understand. This will prepare me for
Yeah.
the next. This will prepare me for the bigger stuff. But right now, this is going to allow me to learn and grow and be playful in a less stressful way, in a less high pressure environment. This is why I didn't get that job. I
Yeah.
see, you know.
And that's literally, like you say, trusting the universe, trusting your calling in the redirection. So
Yeah.
even though over here you might be grieving an opportunity, sometimes it's about taking a step back and being like, what is the redirection within this? And because you've stretched yourself so much outside your comfort zone, it's not that the universe goes, yeah, I'm just going to leave you flat on your face. It's like,
Yeah.
no, hang on a second. Look what your whole body was saying to you. If you got that job, the stress that you were already feeling before you even got the job, but because you expanded yourself, look what I'm now delivering to you, where your nervous system feels playful. And
What about
that's
that?
that's like a
Yeah.
huge thing, isn't it, in business? It's like, do I
Huge.
really want to be stressed in business, or do I want to be playful in business? Like, what is your values within all of
Love
that?
that. Yeah, I love that. And it's like, what's that saying? You shoot for the moon and land on the stars or whatever. So
Yeah.
cheesy, but that's what it is. I shot so high. I knew it was high, but I was like, I'm just gonna go for this.
Yeah.
Fuck it, let's just go for it. I shot so high. that I'd landed somewhere way above where I'm currently at.
Yeah.
Still a creative director role, but like you're saying, feels better, feels comfortable. Not comfortable, still a massive stretch, but it feels right, playful,
Yeah.
energetically right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's so good. It's so good. So, in reality of being a creative, like a dancer, you've been a choreographer, behind the scenes, like you've worked with some big, big artists, behind the scenes of maybe what we would put on Instagram worthy content, behind the scenes, what is the reality behind being a creative, being a dancer?
Yeah.
That,
It's very, very different because obviously when it comes to Instagram and all of that are like flashy, our bio and our website and everything that is forward facing is for us to attract more work. Look
yeah,
what I've done, like, look at my resume, look at my things. So you're just getting the highlight, and we really understand this, don't we? We know
yeah,
this, but actually the work behind the scenes is it's brutal. Like our industry, I always call it a 1% industry. Only 1% of people will really, really make it to the top, will really do the big stuff, the big job with the big artists. And so you have to be willing to do what only 1% of people are willing to do, and the 99% aren't.
yeah,
So the challenges that come with that. I think even like we're saying, the late nights, the early mornings, the last minute changes, like our entertainment industry is a nightmare. Like I've had so many jobs that it's we've rehearsed something, for a couple of days or whatever. First thing, everything is so fast. We need it now. We need it yesterday. Everything's so fast, so high pressure, and then I've done things where it's been rehearsed, it's signed off, we're ready to go. And then, you get a call from the management or something, and it's like, oh, they've decided to change the track. It's gonna be a different edit in the music. And we're due to go on stage in like 3 hours. We need to change everything. And so to be able to work in that type of environment and be cool, no problem, keep your head, work so quickly. We haven't even got space to work, and we're doing it on the side of the stage, or we're doing it in a car park around the back of the stage or something.
wow,
It's so much. And so we have to learn how to trust ourselves. That's a big thing. We have to learn how to trust ourselves, learn how to be calm. So many artists are very insecure. Artists are really insecure. And this is something I didn't realize is when I was younger. We're dealing with our insecurities. We're also dealing with their insecurities. Some artists, they might not like their outfit. And it's things that, as a choreographer, you wouldn't think that mattered to me. I'm dealing with the dancers, I'm dealing with the movement. But if I've got an artist that doesn't like her outfit and feels like she looks terrible and she's about to go on stage or about to be on camera, I'm now having to almost deal with her emotion, talk her off a ledge. It's okay, you look amazing. Like I'm also stepping now into that
yeah,
mentorship role to make sure she feels her best or something, as well as navigating these changes over here with the dancers. So the leadership aspect, especially as a choreographer, is huge. And there's so many other things that come into play. You think that we're just creatives, but we're navigating a million other things
yeah,
as well. Dealing with management, management can often be very stressed because they've got their own problems. So a lot of the time, my experience with management is they just sort of talk at you. I need this delivered. Like, I need you to do this. I need this to be done like now. And so to be spoken at in that way and not get it, it's not about me. It's not for me to get emotional. It's not an attack on me. Everyone's just needs to get this done right now. And
yeah,
we all have a place in this to just make it work. Someone said to me when I was starting out in choreography, being a choreographer is just a solving problems.
yeah,
You're a problem solver. And again, I didn't understand what she meant at the time, and now I do. Like we just need to make it work. If we're going on stage, or we're going on prime like live television in an hour, and this isn't done yet. This isn't working, and if so and so's upset and so and so's crying, and the management is stressed, and the music's changed, we just need to make this work. And so you become just such so solution focused,
Yeah.
and so the leadership that comes into play is massive. And I think so much of the time when you see these polished performances from an audience perspective, you can't imagine the chaos that's going on behind the stage or behind the cameras. It's absolute chaos sometimes. There's always quick changes. There's always things, before 2 hours before the show was due to air, the set was falling apart and this is happening and it's mad.
Wow.
But at the same time, it's like what we were just talking about. It's thriving in chaos.
Yeah.
I absolutely love, and this came up actually in the job interview recently. I love really fast-paced environments. I get bored when something is, it's like I said, but if I just had a 9 to 5, there's an aspect of me that just gets bored when things are mundane.
Yeah.
I love the pressure. I love the speed, the quick changes. I've prepared myself for it over these years. And I'm experienced in it, so I'm good at it. Some personalities, I don't think they would be able to deal with what we do, but I just love it for
Yeah.
some reason, the chaos.
As well, like if I refer back to your human design chart, so we've done Alex's human design chart. She's a generator,
Yeah.
and a lot of what you say around pressure is the fact that you've got your route defined. Like you are born to deal with high pressure environments. Like you can
Yeah.
deal with the pressure. Like you can. It's almost like when
Six.
something's going on, the chaos is going on. It's almost like you can just take a deep breath in and you're like, right, let's go. Like Keem's the same. He
Yeah.
just like walks slower. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like I go, I'm like, no, we need to go now. And he's like just walking dead slow. And I'm like, what are like why? He's like, because I'm not getting caught up in the pressure. I'm not gonna move at the same speed as the pressure is. Like he just moves
Yeah.
like he just knows what needs to be done where I lose my head. Like, and that's
Yeah.
where obviously he's saying some people aren't built for that, where you've built the resilience over the years, but you've also got that defined route, which is like, you can just, I've got this. I know how to
Yeah.
deal with this. You can strategize and you know the time, the deadlines and the time limits that you've got.
Yeah.
Like if you've got 2 hours, it's like we've got 2 hours. We can fit this
Gotta
in
get it
2
done.
hours.
Yeah. It's very interesting, isn't it? Like my wife Carrie, she's a makeup artist. She really wants to get into film. And obviously film is long. There's a lot of continuity when it comes to being a makeup artist. It's many, 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 many days of shooting, long days, the same thing, for her, continuity throughout the scenes and stuff like that. That bores me to death. Like 6 months of long days of shooting the same sort of thing, like the same scene again, the same scene again, the same. I'm like, that is like pulling teeth for me. I love, like live shows, live television, because I love the build of the pressure. I love oh my God, we've got 2 hours until we're going on, and I can hear the audience outside, and it's like, oh my God. And then the almost like the climax of we're on and we're live and it's now, the build and they're like the adrenaline of it, and then there is a massive crash
There's a
after it
massive
as well. A
crash.
lot of
Yeah.
people, a lot of people in my industry, they struggle with depression after that
That's it.
climax
Yeah.
because the highs are so high, and then of course you go back to the hotel room and you're like, oh,
Is this
you
life?
know. But Carrie's got, she loves this, and we've been talking about it recently because it showed me almost what I don't want to do, what I don't think my energy, and it's not even the way of like credentials. It would be amazing to work in film, of course, like for the credit and for the experience. It's not about that. It's about what my energy is pulled towards, and I don't really see myself working 6 months on the same thing in that way.
There's a reel that you share. I think it's when the Sugar Babes are performing. I think you were in Glastonbury and like you're at the bottom of the stage in front of the rails while you're
Yeah.
watching. It is the Sugar Babes, isn't it, that you're watching?
Yes. So I know exactly what job you're talking about. So the Sugar Babes were headlining Mighty Hoopla Festival, and it was the first big show back together as the original Sugar Babes. So it was very high pressure. How is this going to be received? How's it going to go down? It's a headline show. and it's a gay event, and so the crowd were wild because the gays love sugar babes, right?
They were
And so
huge.
and we'd worked so hard on the set. The girls were dancing more than they've ever danced before, which obviously was heavily on me. I had a massive part in the performance in the whole set. And so when they were performing, I was down at the front, so, like the best seat in the house, but I was at the front, in front of the barriers. So kind of on my own, in front of the audience, like the best space to be in to not only see them and watch them and feel their energy, but also if I turn around, there's a crowd behind me of like thousands and thousands and thousands of people. It was amazing. So yes, someone captured me on camera, just experiencing, and I'm like that, and it was amazing. It was such an amazing. I've got a couple of videos actually of me. It became a thing. Same when they did Glastonbury, someone else filmed me as well, being in that same spot because
Yeah.
I think people can just see my joy. People are
It
just like, I don't really
shines. It
hear this.
literally shines through the video. Like every
Yeah,
time you post that video, I'm like, wow, like that's somebody that loves their job. Like
yeah,
that's what I get from every time you post it. I'm like, oh, I love that video because you're like, there's anything could be happening around you, but you're so absorbed with
yeah.
what's going on in front of you, and the energy that you portray in that video is next level. Like
I'm,
it's
I'm in my absolute element. That like I'm saying, live shows,
yeah,
the music, the pyrotechnics, the lights, the crowd, that is my favorite space to be in. But also, I'm thinking, I'm so proud of myself. Look at the show we've created. I'm so proud to be a part of this team.
yeah,
It's almost every single moment is like I still think about that kid. Look at me. I'm here. I'm doing what I love. Isn't that amazing? I never take that for granted.
no, it's amazing.
Powerful.
It's amazing. It is amazing. I want to go back to like your leap to LA. Like you are in LA right now. You were in Liverpool. Well, you were in a lot of places in the UK. I can't lie. Before you left, you were like Liverpool, London,
Yeah.
Scotland, all of the places. What was the biggest thing for you that what was the decider for you to go to LA?
Um, it was a couple of things. So when I was a dancer years ago, I did a year in New York. I trained there when I was about 22, 23, and it was such a game changer. And I never had a work visa then. I was only a student. I had a student visa, so I couldn't work. And there was a couple of big opportunities at that time that they couldn't be offered to me because I didn't have work a visa. But if I did have that work visa, it was a possibility that I was going to be hired for the Beyonce Run the World video, like things at the time where people were like, "Oh, have you got a visa to work?" And it wasn't offered to me. So I'm not saying, but because I had to say no, they couldn't think of me for the job. And I was like, oh, and so there was an element of me that was like, no matter what, I will come back to America at some point. But I kind of left that behind, to be honest, because life just lifed. And we just moved, got married. Um, Me and Carrie, obviously Carrie's a makeup artist, and Carrie had the same experience. She always wanted to come to LA to do makeup and be a makeup artist because, like I just said, she loves film, all of that. But both of us it was an opportunity that maybe we'd left behind. It did
Yeah,
feel like that. I didn't think we'd pick it up. I was like, oh, that's something that I probably wanted to do, and we never did do it. Oh well, And we got married, and we were trying to have a baby, and we had like about 6 years of IVF and all of that, and that was such a roller coaster. I actually sometimes feel like that took up so much of our time, and like a lot of our 30s was spent just trying to have a baby.
yeah,
And we're also trying to build these careers, but at the same time, we've got this pull of, well, we're trying to have this baby. We need to create our world around that, get the house and have the stability, and all of that kind of goes against who we are.
yeah.
We don't want to have the house and the stability, and but we were building that in order to make space for this baby. And then the journey was so difficult. There was a lot that went on there, and multiple miscarriages for Carrie, and it was just so traumatic. And then I remember we needed a break. I was like, babe, this is too much, and I really felt like we were like losing ourselves a bit, And this is in hindsight, of course. I just thought, especially when I was looking at Carrie, she's losing a little spark. She loves her career. She loves traveling. And I'm looking at her, and she's like a dulled down version of
Because
herself.
in
And
that time, she wasn't doing makeup
she
in that
wasn't
time.
working as a makeup artist. There was a lot of sadness there. And so we were aware of that. We never became unaware of that. We knew, and we always checked in with ourselves. Where are we on this journey? Is this still something we want to do? Whatever. And we took a break and we went to LA on holiday. This is 2 years ago. We went to LA on holiday and we stayed with a friend actually that we met through Arbonne, Mel. Um, and we sat on the beach, and for the first time ever, Carrie said to me, "What if we don't have children? Now it's time to put this to bed?" And I actually never thought I'd hear her say that, and I'd started feeling the same, but I hadn't vocalized it.
Yeah.
And I said to her, "Do you know what? I feel the same." And I just energetically now. It's become, when we first started trying for the baby, it was so exciting. It was so exciting. Oh my God, this isn't it. All these years later, it had become so miserable, traumatic. Carrie's body has been through so much, emotionally draining. I was like, why are we still choosing this? Why are we still choosing to be exhausted, drained, emotionally, physically? Like, maybe we've done all we can and we've really gave it our everything. Carrie just wants us to feel like she'd given it her all,
Yeah.
and we really did. We threw everything at it, all the extra testing and this and that and different sperm donors and blah 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 blah. And so I seen something in Carrie that day. I looked at her and I was like, oh no, she's serious. Like, she's done. I could see it in her. It was like she just, in that moment, just put it to bed. And it's like she just, her shoulders came down and she breathed out. And there was just a little moment of like, okay, well, if we don't do that, what can we do now?
What are
And
the
the
possibilities?
excitement of, if we don't have to have this bloody 3 bedroom house that we don't even want, if we don't have to be doing all these things that we don't even really want to be doing, I don't want to like have this house in like the village. And we used to see people on the school run every day, and I was like, energetically, I'm like, ugh, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be doing that. I want to be out and living and doing all these things. We were like, why don't we move to LA? Why don't we pick up our careers? Well, for Carrie, pick up your career again. As a makeup artist, she doesn't have any shelf life. Why don't we do this? Why don't we just make this work? And you know what? The excitement of that, we lit up, and we knew in ourselves this is right. We just knew. We were so excited. We were like, oh, it felt like we'd lit a spark inside of us again. And I'm not even joking. We came back from me and Carrie are fast movers. Both of
Yeah.
us are the same. We
So
come back
fast.
to LA a month later. We'd got rid of all our stuff. Do you remember us getting
I
rid of all our stuff?
remember. I remember.
We were shedding. We gave stuff away. We went to the charity shops, the skit. We shed all this stuff. We'd accumulated so much stuff, which I hate. I hate stuff. And we got rid of it all. We got rid of our house, and we started the process. We moved in with Carrie's mum for about 9 months. We were there. It allowed us to save money. And even that in itself, that is so challenging, to move back in with a parent like that is. But we knew,
Yeah.
if we want to do this fast, we need to like make sacrifices. So it took us 1 year from deciding to actually leaving. I think it was a year and 2 months, saving the money, going through the visa process, all, getting everything in, everything that we needed to do. It took us about a year, and then here we are. And I'm not gonna lie, I make it sound easy sometimes, I know that. that was very like, oh my God, like what are we doing? It was so, and I think I've traveled loads and I've uprooted myself so many times, but in your 20s, you've got nothing to lose.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
your 20s, you're like, oh, whatever, like I'll crash on my mid sofa. I'll do that. We'll figure it out. To do it closer to 40, I think Carrie was already 40, I'm 39. It was so, oh my God, are we going to be okay? Like, what about this? What about that? What about it was bigger than we anticipated.
Yeah.
Everyone around us was so supportive, all our friends and family. But at the same time, I think like everyone was like, what?
Gutted, just to
So
let you
big,
know, gutted.
Yeah,
I was like, what? And then when you
yeah,
started giving all your stuff away, I was like, yeah, like, what are you doing? Stop it. Like,
yeah.
take the stuff back. Like, you're
And
not moving.
me and Carrie, and thank God she's exactly the same. We both thrive in just going, okay, we've made a decision, let's just do it.
Yeah.
And if we're going to do it, we're doing it, you
There's
know?
two things. There's two things I absolutely love about you and Carrie. One, the first thing in a relationship, I've never seen people support each other
Yeah.
the way you do. Like, I mean, like I've witnessed you supporting Carrie when she'd had a miscarriage, and there's people out there in relationships that are absolutely supportive, but it was like you knew exactly where she was. Like she was in freeze mode. When she'd go into freeze mode, you'd know exactly what she needed in that time. You knew how to speak to her. You knew there was just so much to it. And it was like all of these layers of your both of your relationship. Like no matter if the shit hit the fan, you were still there as the supportive partner to each other. It was so breathtakingly amazing to witness how you
Yeah.
both were with each other, and it was like
Thank you
not
so
only
much.
was you supporting Carrie, but Carrie was then supporting you when you
Yeah.
were feeling low, and
It's
it
like
was it was
this.
yeah, it was like you
Yeah.
both knew what each other needed. And obviously I'm not saying relationships are perfect, but it was like I've never witnessed any voice raising, or it's just kind of like it's just a dead car with each other, which is just
Yeah.
beautiful. And
Yeah.
it's beautiful to witness.
Yeah, and do you know what? Because we're also speaking about business as well, like to be totally transparent, or always throughout our careers, we have had time, me and Carrie, we have had times where we're both doing well financially, and we have had times where neither of us are doing well financially, but most of the time it's one of us.
One of us, yeah,
It
absolutely
really is.
same.
At the moment. So that year when we were saving to go to LA, Carrie finished wrapped up her work early because we were supposed to be leaving sooner than we thought. So there was a period of time that Carrie wasn't earning any money, and I had to step up. I had to be like, oh shit, okay, cool. But since we've arrived in LA, because Carrie, as a makeup artist, there's a lot of work for her, and a lot of different avenues. Carrie's really been holding us financially because I'm trying to step up in something new as a creative director, and it's very niche what I do. And so I've this past year has been Carrie massively financially holding us, enabling me to do a lot of work like for free, or a lot of the time I'm just out there, I'm networking, I'm doing, and it's not necessarily pulling in money.
Yeah,
But she's like, no, baby, go on, you go and do it. This is what you need to do right now. I've got us, financially. And she knows once it turns, then we're there for each other. But we've experienced that so many times in our 10-year relationship. And it's amazing. It's incredible. And I feel so held by her
yeah,
when she can do that. And do you know what? She enjoys to do it.
yeah,
She
yeah,
genuinely goes, I love to be able to support you when I can. And I feel the same in reverse when
yeah.
if I can do something and I can take care of us in any way, both of us love it. Our personalities.
Yeah, definitely. And that happens in mine and Keem's relationship as well. It's like it's been one or the other for so long, or neither of
Yeah,
us. Like we're both entrepreneurs, we're both
yeah,
building a business from scratch.
Hard.
Like when lockdown happened, we both had to pivot in our businesses. Like
Yeah,
our normal structure wasn't there. And as was like this is the first year, like it's December as we're recording this, and it's like this is the first year in about 6 years that I've not stressed over Christmas presents, that I've been able to go out and both of us at the same time have had money where beforehand it's been one or the other or neither of us.
yeah,
We've been flat on our arse, and it's like that's
that's
what
amazing.
creates resilience within relationships is that like that balance between who's going to hold who. And I found it hard at times to support the whole family, but then now it's like no, like let's go, like
Yeah,
like we've had to go through our own trauma within that. But
yeah,
the second thing I was going to say about you and Carrie that I absolutely love. Over the last 5 years that I've known both of you, when you've had something within your mind, whether that's a goal or a desire or something that you've gone for it all in and you've made it happen regardless. It's like if it's not one thing, then you go after another. You go after it for another way. It's like you're always pivoting, but you always get what you've always put out there. Like it's again, it's like a breath of fresh air. It's seeing two people so motivated, and then getting results from just staying the course. Like this
yeah.
is the
So
direction that we're
important.
going
Yeah.
in.
We do go hard. I think it's a mixture of both of us are I annoy myself if I'm talking about something for too long and I'm not doing.
Yeah,
I annoy myself and that gives me a rocket up my arse. I'm like, why am I still talking about doing this and I'm not taking action? I annoy myself. And I work from a place of that from sometimes I'm like, no, Alex, come on, get your shit together, let's go. Like I talk to myself like that sometimes. And Carrie's the same. Thank God we both have the same sort of but then I think because we feel supported by each other,
yeah,
because sometimes, it's not easy like stepping up into something new or having an idea and or being vulnerable and being like, I want to go for this.
yeah,
I'm scared, it's big. Like being able to be vulnerable in that, like you need the support. Like it's not enough to just speak to yourself like, come on, let's go, like let's do it. Like that motivation will fade.
yeah.
You need sometimes to like I've had moments where I'm just crying with Carrie because I'm like I'm so out of my comfort zone and I feel so vulnerable and I'm so scared, but at the same time I know I'm exactly where I need to be.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
and Carrie's like, babe, come on, and she'll talk me through it. And she'll talk me that sometimes I can get a bit I don't know, like I can get emotional with myself and start being like, oh, what am I doing? And
It's
she's
in
like,
your own head, isn't it? Like you get in your
yeah,
own head. Like that's why entrepreneurship is so wild because it's like you've got to like really work through what's going on in your own head. But again, it comes down to support. It's like who is your
yeah,
support network? Are they pulling you down or are they lifting you up? Going, no, like this is just a
yeah,
blip. Like this is not who you are. Like let's go. Like we got to keep going. And this is the thing. Like what you was like going back to you annoy yourself. This is something that I've started to really acknowledge is, am I making excuses of why I'm not doing that thing? So say for instance, it was like, why aren't people liking my social media posts? Well, because I'm not consistent. Like, why would they? I'm not showing up the way I need to show up. So why would they? Like, that's my excuse. Like, I'm making excuses of why I'm not showing up. So I'm not showing up because the excuse is there. And then I'd do my own head in and it'd be like,
yeah,
get out your own way. Like, just post the video, post the thing, do the podcast, do these things that you keep saying you're going to do. And then
yeah,
you're making more and more excuses of why you're not doing it.
yeah,
And then you low about why you haven't got results, why you're not getting paid. Well, you're not showing up. That's why you're not getting
yeah.
paid.
There's
Like,
a great quote about this, and I love it. Let me get this right. Um, you can't get upset about the results you're not getting from the work that you didn't do. Oh my God, it's so good.
and
You
that's it.
cannot get upset because you're not doing the work. Come on.
Yeah.
But we have to stop believing our own bullshit. That's what it
That's a huge
is.
thing. That's a huge thing. That's what I really promised myself at the start of the year. My word for this year was believe. And it
Yeah.
was like, I've got to believe. And then it was like, I've got to decide, not only believe, but I've got to decide what it is that I want. Like, do I want to stay consistent on social media and have more opportunities open for me? Well, yeah. Okay, so do I want a podcast? But why do I want a podcast? Decide what you want these things for, because the excuses, the BS that we play in our own mind of why we're going to leave it till tomorrow or we're going to leave it till next week is the whole reason why we're in the 99%. Do you know,
Yeah.
you've got to start acting like the 1% to be successful in the arena that we're in.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of mentors that I learn from, they're showing up on Christmas. They're still showing up on the days that we're not showing up. They're showing up on Sundays when we're not showing up, when we're like that, oh, we're taking a day off. Do you know, it's like, what are the days that they're showing up? They're showing up every day.
Yeah, it's all. I think it's what we're willing to do. How far are you willing to go? Even me and Carrie keep reminding ourselves when things are hard here. Right now, we just had our 1 year mark in LA, and Carrie's like, "Babe, just getting to LA was a huge achievement. The fact that we interrupted our life to be like, no, we want more. Let me take this giant step.
Huge.
That we have to be rewarded for that." You know, we've took a huge hit. The universe knows we're not playing around.
The
So
universe
it's
won't place you somewhere and then strip you back. Like, okay, the
yeah,
universe does strip us back when we're holding on to the old identity part of us, doing the dance classes weekly,
yeah,
that old identity part of ourselves. But the
yeah,
universe doesn't place us somewhere and then take everything from us and be like, no, you're
yeah,
not allowed to eat now. You're not going to have money for food. You're not going to have money for
yeah,
your accommodation unless we decide that that's our reality. If we decide that our reality over here is that we don't eat, well, we're not going to eat. But if we decide that God's placed us here for a reason and we're going to be paid off hugely, then
yeah,
that's what's going to happen.
yeah. Yeah, a lot of people said to us, well, if it doesn't work out, you can always come home. And we're like, it will work out.
Yeah,
We
it's going to
have,
work.
we have to. If I'm thinking already about coming home, then it won't work out. I have to be all in with this is going to work out because I'm going to stay until, and that's it. Bottom line, it's that, isn't it?
Yeah. What is the reality for you of moving to LA? So you've moved, it's been a great move. Underneath all of that, what is the reality for you?
Yeah. It's been very humbling because I'm a successful person in my industry in England.
Yeah.
I have my network, I know my people, it's very comfortable. I know when I need to, I can send an email and someone will hire me there. I can call in a friend there for a favor, all of that. Whereas I come to LA and it's very like, okay, I don't really know anyone. I know a couple of people. Is that sound a problem?
No, I
No.
can't hear
But
nothing.
I've come to LA. It's very humbling because I've come to LA and there's so many new people. There's new avenues, new like no one knows me in this industry. I do know a couple of people that I have been like obviously I can connect there and stuff, but I'm a brand new person. And so to come to a new place and really be humbled as no one knows you here, you've got to build from the ground up. Obviously, I've got experience, so people will listen to that. And people, when I'm sending my resume and my experience, people are like, "Oh, okay, she's been successful in another country.
Yeah,
She has worked in this industry." Um, but at the same time, have felt very small. This
yeah,
is a big city, big energy, big industry, all the biggest stuff are here. So I have struggled this year with feeling so small, not seen. I'm trying so hard. I'm doing all the things. I'm sending my work. I'm at the events. I'm networking. And like, when am I going to be seen? When am I? But at the same time, I know that this stuff is going to take time.
yeah,
It's going to take time. And I know me and Carrie said to ourselves, it's going to take maybe a year of just doing groundwork.
yeah. The
You
foundation
know,
layer all over again.
So yeah, so the reality of it is it's a really expensive city. Our rent is really expensive, food is expensive. So we've had to really strip back our life. we are literally just paying the rent at the moment, and that's it. Like people are inviting us places, and I'm like, I can't come to that. I can't come to like a ticket to the events. I can't be, paying this and this, and I need to just. We're here for a reason. This first year just needs to be us grounding ourselves.
Yeah,
Um, but at the same time, so many. I think it's taken me about at this 1 year mark now. I feel like I'm finding my place. I'm finding my people. I'm finding my network. I'm starting to see a pathway in front
yeah,
of me that is like, this is where I'm going to fit. And actually I didn't know I was going to move into creative director. When I was leaving England, I wanted to come and work as a choreographer. I didn't know that LA was going to show me that it's my time now to take a step up.
yeah,
So it's a bit of a mad time to take a step up because not only am I in a new space, but I'm deciding to do something new as well.
yeah,
So it's all a bit like, oh my God, what's going on? But I've met amazing mentors, incredible women. One of my biggest like sort of intentions when I moved here was to seek out more female leadership in my industry. And I have met the most incredible women, directors that I've worked with. My mentor she's a creative director in the industry. She's incredible. Even this woman, Fatima, that I went for the job to be her assistant creative director. She's incredible. So I'm connecting with unbelievable women.
yeah,
And that's what I wanted, and I'm learning from them, and I'm in this space, and it's only a matter of time before people start hiring me, you
yeah,
know. So
absolutely.
the reality of it is so many sacrifices, and I think people aren't willing to take these sacrifices. We have been on our ass skint this year, whereas 2 years ago in England we weren't. We were at two wages, we could afford, a big house and all the rest of it, two cars, like. But now we've taken that hit in order to progress forwards. And I've always been willing to do that. Carrie's the same. I will take a step back in order to take two steps forward.
Yeah.
I'm fine. I'm good with long-term vision, you know.
Yes, and that's it. I think so. That's the thing is people are so short-sighted that they
Yeah.
don't see the long goal. It's like
Oh God.
for me, it's like even down to food choices. If I know that that food's going to make me feel miserable, so there was about 2 years ago where I started just eating a lot of takeaway food. Started giving me a really bad headache. Like I'd get this like really dry brain at the front of my head and I'd start to get really bad bellyache. And I just felt lethargic all of the time. And then what I realized was I was eating all of this processed food long term, it was doing me a lot of damage. In the short term, it was satisfying me just
Yeah.
to feel full, and that was it. And that's
Yeah.
what a lot of people think is, well, I'm getting full here, so why would I think about this over here? But then
Yeah.
when I started to change how I thought about the food that I was eating, and I'll bring it round to business in a second, but when I started to think about the food that I was eating, in regards to how is this going to make me feel later on? Like, is this going to give me a headache and I'm not going to want to work or I'm not going to want to do these things? Is this going to give me a headache because I can only function at about 7% when I've got this headache? That I started to not make them decisions anymore. I don't eat takeaway. I don't eat fast food. I don't eat processed food. I don't eat chocolate. I don't eat these things that are going to make me feel bad long term. Like in an hour, how am I going to feel is what I ask all of the time, even down to decisions that I'm making with money or with am I going to go out over here? Am I going to make this travel? Is it going to make me feel worse later on? It's like all of these things that we've got to think about in our life. Are we willing to sacrifice that cake now over here for feeling better over here? It's the same in business, isn't it? When we start to think long term, are we willing to make that sacrifice? Are we willing to say no right now?
You're so right. Because actually, I don't want to live with any regret of, oh, I wish we did that then. I wish we just gave it our all then, but we didn't because we were so worried about money or we were so worried about like in the moment, you know what Carrie always says, and I love her for this. When like let's say when someone's coming on tour, let's say like Lady Gaga's coming on tour and the tickets are like quite a lot and you might not have the money. and you think, oh, I don't have it. I really want to see her, but I just don't have the money. Carrie always says in that type of situation, in the future, you'll never ever think. You'll never ever think, oh, I was a bit skint there. You'll always think, oh my God, remember that time we went to see Lady Gaga? It was an amazing show. You'll never remember just being a bit skint or and I love that kind of mindset. It's like, do you know
Yeah,
what? Yeah, we did have 1 year of our life in LA where we really were challenged and we were like, skint. But actually this year's been so many amazing things have happened.
yeah,
Like fast forward to a couple of years' time when we're doing amazing things and everything's worth it, and like our careers have taken off and all of that. We're never going to be like, oh my God, remember that time when we were a bit skinned? Like, so what? We
yeah,
didn't we didn't die. We could still eat. We could still, we're still happy. We still got each other. We're still out in the sunshine every day. Like life is great. Sometimes when I think the other day after I didn't get this job, I had a day or two that I was a bit down. And Carrie, Carrie was like, she said, babe, life isn't terrible, is it? And I was like, you're so right. Life isn't terrible. Like,
yeah,
look,
yeah.
we're,
Look
we're
around
great.
you.
We're
You're in the
healthy. We're
sun.
happy. Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, do you know what? I needed that reality check. I
Yeah.
needed to like,
Yeah,
look
because
back.
we can get caught up in our own drama, can't we? Like,
Yeah.
this is so bad, and as
Yeah.
well, like, if we bring it back to the fact that Carrie's out there, she's got real big opportunities right now.
Yeah.
She's making it. Life is good. Like, when you're being, as much as you're being supported and held within all of that, as an independent woman within business, now as a small fish in a big
Yeah.
pond where you were a
Yeah.
big fish. Put my teeth back in. You were a big fish in a small pond. You had all of these opportunities. You've gone, you've
Yeah.
been stripped bare. You're now
Yeah.
this small fish in a big pond. And it's
So
like,
vulnerable.
you're so vulnerable,
Yeah.
and it's like you had your eyes set on earning money like that,
Yeah.
and I've been there before where Keem's like, I've got you, I've got you, I've got you, and I'm like, that's great. I love the fact that you've got me, and I feel really supported, but I don't want to be
Yeah.
supported right now. I want
Yeah.
my own opportunities. Like,
Yeah.
I want to earn my own money. I don't want to keep coming to you going, babe, can you put a
Yeah.
tenner in my bank? Like, babe, can you put 50 quid in my bank? It's like, no,
Yeah.
I want to be out there, want to have my own money and freedom. It's freedom that it comes down to. The money gives us freedom to go and buy the coffee over here, or go for food over here, or do the networking events. And it's like, it's that freedom that we need within our business, within our lives. As much as our partners are willing to support us, it's like we've got to come back to, that opportunity meant this for us. That's where the upset comes, is when we start thinking future, what it meant for us as a person.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think as well, like, coming back to your experience right now, like, you've made these things, you've made LA massive. LA's a big city, it's big opportunities, it's big people. And I've always done that, where I've started stepping out my comfort zone and I've made things massive. I've made money
Yeah.
goals massive. I've made these things massive. And I've really shrunk myself down to a point where they're so much bigger than me, that when I started to change that trajectory of, no, hang on a second, like,
Right.
I'm big, like, I'm
Yeah.
bigger than LA. I'm not bigger than LA, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's like I've then made these opportunities, no big deal.
You're so right. And do you know what? I think that's been, I feel like we've taken a bit of turn at this 1 year mark. That's what's happened. You're right. It's starting to feel, LA's starting to feel more manageable. I'm starting to feel like, oh, I'm somebody that can be here, that can work here, like I'm worthy. I'm the
Worthy,
same
yeah.
as these other people that are working. There's no difference between them and me. I'm starting to feel there's a space for me here, and it's not huge.
Yes.
It's very actually very manageable. It's bite-sized,
Yes.
And I think
Yeah.
going for that job, even though I didn't get this job, going for it has gave me clarity around that. Actually, I've just got down to the last two candidates for one of the biggest job roles in my industry right now that's come available. I'm killing it, And it's made me realize, oh, I am I'm ready for it, I'm deserving, I'm worthy. I just need to surrender now and accept what's coming, what's mine. Stop making it feel big, stop making it
Yeah.
feel like out of reach.
Yes. That's
Yeah.
huge, isn't it? It's huge. It's yeah, it's really big. So when things like you've moved to LA, you've had that year in LA, you've had a lot of uncertainty. What is the thing that keeps you motivated or inspired in that time of uncertainty
Yeah.
or overwhelm?
I think I'm excited for what the possibilities. I know that when I think about the future, the work, the job roles, the type of stuff that I'm going to be doing, I know it's there for me. So even though it's not right here, right now, I know 100% that it's there.
Yeah,
So that keeps me excited. I can't wait to get there. I can't wait for that day.
yeah,
I think the challenge for me is to close the gap.
yeah,
Instead of it feeling like so big, like one day, I'm like, I know it's happening, so let me just close that gap because I'm closer than I realize. So I think excitement and knowing, I really, really trust in the fact that I will get to where I want to be. That's one thing. I know now through so many years of personal development, professional development, I know how to keep myself on track. I know what I need. I need good sleep and pattern. I eat well. Alcohol knocks me off. Alcohol, it can really sort of make me feel down. And if I feel down, then I don't want to do that. And then my brain starts going. I've had a lot of like amazing theta healing which is me and you done that a lot together, and
yeah,
I've done a couple of years of theta healing. Really helped me to I guess rewire my nervous system. That's how it feels. I feel much more regulated in myself. I used to be really anxious. I used to wake up, my nervous system was shook all the time and I didn't know why. I'd
yeah,
wake up with nothing to worry about, yet I'd be having a panic attack.
yeah,
And I've done a lot of work around being able to calm myself, regulate myself. If I eat well, sleep well, eat the right things, I go out for a walk in the morning. Now we're blessed with sunshine, which is like, oh my God, such a life hack, sunshine. I
yeah,
can't wait to get out. And I know sometimes in the morning I say to Carrie, I'm just going to go out. I know it's a tool for me.
yeah,
Instead of sitting on my phone or, instead of putting Netflix on or whatever, I know, let me just go outside, go for a walk, let me just go sit on the roof or whatever, get that sunshine, take some breath. It is all of those things, reading the right books, podcast, has helped me to feel grounded and to feel calm and to be able to navigate even when things are big and scary and vulnerable and I don't know, it's like what's going to happen, and
yeah,
I go, no, let me just ground myself. So I think all of that work that I've done there and continue to do is such a big factor in the success.
yeah,
We can't skip that. I
yeah,
when I mentor dancers and different people, I speak about these things, and they look at me, and I know that they don't understand
yeah.
what I'm trying to say. They have to experience it themselves. And they're just thinking, no, I just need to become a better dancer and go to class and keep training. And I'm like, no, you need to learn how to regulate your nervous system. And they're like, what? You
Yeah,
know?
absolutely. Because it's like we are everything that's happening in our world is a reflection of us. If we're not working on our mindset, we're not working on our central nervous system, we're not working on past trauma, and it's not staying in the past trauma, but it's working on it to a point where it's like, oh, then memories don't feel traumatic anymore. So just going
Yeah,
back to theta healing. So theta healing is all around rewiring your subconscious, like old belief systems
yeah,
and old patterns and things that have been like really created from the moment we were born through our generational line. It's passed through to us, and when we start to uncover this, it starts to lessen the side effects, so the worry, the anxiety. When we go through trauma from a young age, what happens is when we're adults, we go through, addictions, we have worry, we have anxiety, we have depression, we go through all of these things. But if we're not working on it, or like and keep revisiting it, it's going to take over. I done a
Yeah.
reel today where it's like we have to decide what our reality is. Because if we don't decide, life decides for us, our past experiences decide for us. All of these things that have happened to us don't have to be our experience later down the line. And this is exactly what you've worked through the theta healing, the mindset work, the personal development, the central nervous system work, to a point now where you can go, I know what success feels like. This feels safe within my body. Because when our bodies don't feel safe, it'll never happen.
Yeah, I think I recognize now that for the first part of my career, I got as far as I could through force. I
Yes.
got as far as I could through like I just want to run away, and I'm going to run at success. I'm just going to claw my way through it, and
Yeah.
I got as far as I could doing that, and then I hit a wall, and I was like, okay, what is this wall? And I then realized I am not going to be able to take myself to the next level, and I'm not going to be able to feel good about it, or feel
Yeah.
grounded, or feel. I was having panic attacks. My anxiety, I couldn't breathe. I would be waking up, I couldn't breathe. Like, I can't have a career. I can't progress into these bigger roles and do all the things we spoke about whilst I'm having panic attacks and stuff. So
Yeah.
I knew I needed to do the work then in order to, like you're saying, feel safe, feel grounded. Then it just unlocked for me. Ah, now I can step into it with ease. I'm not
Yes.
running at it. I'm not clawing my way through it. I'm supported. And, it feels right. It feels good. I don't have panic attacks anymore. I can breathe. I feel calm. So now I know that the pathway's there. I just need to step into it.
It's sustainable, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
you get to a point where hustle doesn't work anymore. It just keeps burning you out and burning you out and burning you out, making you
Yeah.
ill. Like all of these different things show up, and it's like, how am I going to get from here to where I want to be? Doing
Yeah.
what I'm doing in this hustle energy if I can't sustain this level now. So it's
Yeah.
like when you start to rewire your belief systems and start to like really work on your nervous system, you can go, oh, this now feels sustainable. I know how to get from A to B, and it be easier than it's ever been before.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
it's
Exactly.
a,
Yeah.
it's a completely different energy, isn't it? This is why, that 1% that we're talking about, they don't just work on their business, they work on their energy, they work on their central nervous system, they work on their belief systems, they work on their bodies, they go to the gym, they eat good food. It's not this perception anymore. Like, I don't see the 1% as being greedy and these big, like,
Yeah.
politicians. Like, that's not the 1% to me anymore. It used to be, where now it's like I see the 1% as the entrepreneurs, the people that have got to the tippity top of the business, and they're good.
Thriving.
Yeah, they're thriving. And the good-hearted people like,
Yeah.
Amanda Francis and what's
Can
her
I
name?
just stop you there? Amanda Francis was next to me in the airport recently in LA. I know.
Oh my days.
I was like, I didn't say anything to her. I was by myself. She was with the kids and I didn't want to bother her. I messaged her on Instagram later. I said, I've seen you today. I said, I just want to say, I've read your books. You're amazing. All that. She said, oh my God, you should have said hi. And I said, oh, you were with the kids. And I didn't want to bother you. The airport's already stressful enough. But I was amazing. It was amazing. I was made up.
That's amazing. That's
Yeah.
what I mean. Like, she's thriving. She's like, she's there, but she focuses on her energy and her mindset and just everything that she stands for is a reflection of things that she does inwards, and her outwards reality shows that constantly. It's
Yeah.
amazing. So the closing question is, what is one truth you now live by that changed everything for you?
That I'm deserving,
Yeah.
I'm worthy. Because I think that's the biggest thing. We go through so much thinking, oh my God, how am I ever going to get there? People like me don't achieve that. Like I'm working class, or I'm from the north, or I'm just a girl, or all of our belief systems we don't feel worthy. And if we don't feel worthy, it's like we're saying about LA. If everything feels too big for you and you're too small for it, we will never get there. So that, in closing, that is it for me. I am absolutely worthy and deserving. I'm good enough. I have the skills. I have the experience. Like I have everything I need. Anything else from here, I can figure out. It's all figure outable. What's that word? Figure
Yes,
out.
absolutely, absolutely,
It.
absolutely.
So we just have to know. And if I feel worthy of it, it's mine. It's just
It's
when the time is right.
yeah, that's amazing. I have absolutely loved this podcast. Like it's
Me
there's just
too.
so
Thank you
much
so much for
value.
having
Yeah, it's just been brilliant. So, where can people find you if they are like, yeah, I want more energy. Like, if you honestly, Alex's socials, you're like, yeah, I want in on whatever she's doing.
do you know what, my Instagram is the place. I just put all my energy into Instagram, and it's just my name, Alex Steele,
Yeah,
ALYXSTELE. Yeah, just Instagram. And do you know what? Reach out to me. I ask me questions. Like I love conversation. I love people. I love connecting. So yeah, I look forward to meeting anyone, hearing from anyone who's listening to this podcast. And I'd love to hear as well if anything's resonated. You
yeah.
know, that you've learned, anything that's resonated with you. It's nice to share and to hear that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So I will put your Instagram handle in the show notes. So anybody that's looking for the Instagram or they don't know how to spell Alex's name, I'll put everything in the show notes underneath. But yes, thank you so much for
Thank
blessing
you.
us with your energy. I'm sure we'll have a catch up sometime soon. This will be a part two eventually, so we can find out
Yeah,
what happens with Alex's career in LA to see what opportunities arise. That'll be amazing if we can do a part two. That'll be awesome because we can go a lot deeper into a lot of things for sure. Thank you so much, my love.